This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 1019, When Life Throws You Curveballs, by Julie Morgenstern of juliemorgenstern.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our parenting leg of the week here on ORD. I am your host and narrator, Greg Audino. Now, today's post will be courtesy of Julie Morgenstern. As a parent, Julie knows that with everything going on, it can be hard to maintain balance when unexpected curveballs hit and life forces you to readjust. She has ideas for how parents can handle these curveballs with grace, and I think you're going to like them. I'll have another exciting Vibely update for you afterwards too, talking about our theme this month that I think you're also going to like. So stick around for that. But first, we are going to jump into today's article, hear what Julie has to say, and optimize your life. When Life Throws You Curveballs, by Julie Morgenstern of juliemorgenstern.com. Parents are constantly juggling responsibilities: work, household logistics, personal and professional relationships, loving and raising the kids, all while trying to find time for self-care, exercise, hobbies, and a little shut-eye. On a good day, managing this juggling act is a delicate balance. What happens when life throws you a massive curveball? Aside from managing the everyday ups and downs, there are unpredictable and disruptive life events, including moving, divorce, illness, job loss, a global pandemic, or the rise of a social movement, that can derail schedules and routines, throwing off any semblance of balance you may have had. Often, during these times of crisis, the very first things to go are quality time with your children and for yourself. When life hands you a curveball, your time, energy, and brain power are eclipsed by 1,000,001 additional things that need to be decided, organized, and executed. What's worse, these situations almost always take an emotional toll on you and every member of your family. As a parent, you have the added responsibility of managing your own additional emotional load and helping your kids cope with theirs. With all the additional responsibilities on your plate, navigating curveballs will require you to master two rules that don't always come easily. Number one, you'll need to ask for help, accept it, and divvy up tasks with grace. And number two, you must triple down on self-care. These two go hand in hand. Master them, and you'll be able to withstand all the heavy lifting without missing a beat for your kids. Let's break them down. Rule number one, divvy up the labor. No matter how independent and self-reliant you prefer to be, dealing with extraordinary circumstances is an enforcing mechanism for all parents to learn to reach out for and accept help. During times of crisis, friends, neighbors, extended family, school contacts, and even your workplace may offer to help. Let them. Make the delegating easy on yourself by preparing a list of tasks that could potentially move off your plate that helpers can pick and choose from. Other times, like the present, you may be limited to the manpower of your immediate household. In this case, it can be helpful to lay all your cards on the table, to divide and conquer strategically. I've previously written about a helpful visual exercise, in which you make a note card for each task and chore involved in running your household, including any additional curveball tasks, and divvy them up fairly, allowing everyone to pitch in to help the family. In either case, remember to keep your sense of humor. Your helpers may be doing something for the first time, especially if they're children. As a result, it may take them longer, or they may do things differently than you do them yourself. Mistakes are bound to happen, but in times of crisis, we can't cry over spilled milk. It's best to thank your helper for their intention and simply laugh it off. Rule number two, take impeccable care of yourself. It's hard to be a rock when you feel out of sorts. In order to be in a position to soothe your kids, you first need to soothe yourself. Children rely on adult reactions to help them figure out how to understand and interpret what's happening around them. The way you handle your attitude and emotions will set the tone for the way your child copes. Resist the urge to become all about your to-do list. That will make it hard to slow down and tune into your own emotions and gauge how your kids are doing. Instead, Take a rest at least once or twice a day. Give yourself a moment to detach from your responsibilities. Take a deep breath and check in with yourself. A 5-minute timeout can be a good thing. Setting a reminder on your phone to take a self-care break can help prevent the day from running away from you. Remember, you won't be good for anyone or at handling the crisis at hand if you run yourself ragged. Do your best to avoid overindulging in food, alcohol, social media, or other unhealthy escapes. Instead, commit to eating well, getting enough sleep, and exercising regularly. Build happy moments into everyday life. In times of crisis, you'd be surprised how rejuvenating it can be to simply cook your favorite meal, listen to your favorite album while you tick through household chores, blow bubbles with your toddler in the backyard, or have a 2-minute dance party in the living room. Curveballs can deal a leveling blow. They disrupt our whole way of life, turning our systems upside down. They bring an onslaught of additional to-dos and a new meaning to the phrase, "It takes a village." Whatever unexpected situations life has in store for you, remember, they are made more manageable by getting some help and taking care of yourself first. Don't be afraid to rely on your extended support networks and be diligent about carving out time to tune in and take care of yourself. You will be better equipped to handle the situation with grace while helping those around you cope. You just listened to the post titled, "When Life Throws You Curveballs" by Julie Morgenstern of juliemorgenstern.com. And everybody, we come to the OLD community to work on ourselves, right? We all want to do this, especially long term, but therapy can be expensive. Well, there's a new way to grow that we are really excited to be partnering with, and that's TatLab. TatLab, or the Angry Therapist Lab, has live Zoom group classes led by a team of therapists and coaches on everything from relationship building tools to conquering codependency, trauma work to breath work, even astrology readings. There's also a social hour in which everyone can talk freely and build new friendships. You see, this is not therapy. It's part lecture and part group engagement, a fun way to work on your emotional well-being from home and meet like-minded people while doing so. So go to tatlab.app and use discount code ORD at checkout to get unlimited live classes, plus hundreds of hours of audio lessons and courses on a variety of wellness topics for only $20, the price of a gym class drop-in fee, for a limited time only. Again, go to www.tatlab.app and the discount code is ORD, all letters in lowercase. This is a new way to grow. We'll see you in the lab. Really great work from Julie today. Thanks to her for reminding us of how we can cultivate preparedness in times of distress. I love that she's promoted an approach that's slow and steady, encouraging us to create systems and adhere to them each day. And one way to expand upon that, a good addition to her visual exercise with the note card, would be to plan specific actions for specific crises. Now, surely you can't predict them too much, certainly not crises like the pandemic. But if you know that something will be coming up soon, maybe the death of a loved one, or something that is bound to happen at some point, like a stock market crash, create strategies in advance for how to handle such things. This can be very useful, and it can help you stay ahead. Surely this isn't to avoid inevitable pain in some circumstances, but it can help avoid the shock and scramble of accommodating. What will you do if you receive bad news in such and such a place? Where might we stay if we have to leave the house for a little time or a lot of time? Speculating about curveballs like this, it does not have to be anxiety-inducing, but it instead stands to take away from more pressing anxiety that may occur in the moment. And before we go, guys, just wanted to give you a heads up on what's going on right now in Vibely. Vibely is our online group which provides listeners like yourself a chance to help out fellow listeners by sharing pieces of your own advice and personal experiences in response to prompts that we provide on the platform. I highly recommend you join via the oldpodcast.com/group link, which is in this episode's description if you haven't done so yet, because it really is such a great place to get to know one another and converse with us hosts too through these prompts that I mentioned, in addition to several group chats that we have going. And this is a good time to get in there because as of today, we are in the middle of an OLD-themed month. Our last prompt asked you guys what advice you would give us to better the network, and you can still answer that one. Our current prompt asks you guys to share how the OLD network has made an impact on your life, and we've also got some polls going up to cover all kinds of things like episode duration, preferred shows, what topics you like listening to, new approaches to narrating, and more. Guys, we care about what you have to say, so don't be shy to hop in there and tell us. We really do love knowing that you can help us make this network an even better place than it already is, and any contributions of yours are highly appreciated. So, with that, everyone, we're going to get out of here for today. I thank you for being here with me. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope you will come back and join me again tomorrow in the Friday show. That's where your optimal life awaits.